Tonight, Mrs. Soludo reassures support to registered children homes in Anambra. Federal government partners Anambra to plant over 3,000 palm tree seedlings in Nibo. NLC describes federal government's silence over electricity hike reversal as disappointing. ANC eyes national unity government after election loss. Before the news in detail, here's a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total around maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values that's giving maximum support for the task ahead. Good evening and welcome to the evening news. My name is Uchechukwu Ebonam. Wife of the governor of Anambra State, Mrs. Nonye Soludo, has reassured that the state government will continue to do its best to support registered children's homes and orphanages across the state. Mrs. Soludo said this when she received the members of the Association of Registered Community Children's Home, Anambra State, at the Governor's Lodge, Amobia. Addressing members of the association, the governor's wife said that the state government takes special interest in all the registered homes and will continue to support the works of charity. She recalled her last visit to different registered homes in Anambra State last December and pledged to continue with the visit to ensure that every home is reached. Mrs. Soludo further urged the association to understand that their passion comes with special blessings because their sacrifices are special in the eyes of God and humanity. Earlier in her remarks, the chairperson of Association of Registered Community Children's Home, Mrs. Helen Eze, said that the visit was to have an interaction with the governor's wife and to commend her for reaching out to them at a time when the homes needed her love. She said the visit across different children's homes in Anambra State by the governor's wife last December had a great impact on both the children and caregivers of the homes, and said that the association is grateful for Mrs. Soludo's passionate assistance. The federal government has partnered the Anambra State government to plant over 3,000 palm tree seedlings in Nibo, Oka South Council area as a means of controlling the fast spread of an erosion site in the area. The project, which was supervised by the Federal Ministry of Environment, has been handed over to the State Ministry of Environment through its Commissioner, Engineer Felix Odumegwu, as part of the 2023 federal government project on phyto control and protection of erosion and marginal lands in the state. Correspondent Chibuzo Obidike filed in the report.
In the handover, Engineer Odumegwu stated that the project came timely as the erosion crisis in Anambra State has escalated to an alarming rate, leaving 160 of the 179 communities in Anambra State with one form of erosion or the other. He appreciated the delegation for the economic trees, stating that the project will not only control erosion but will ensure economic stability, food and agriculture security, climate regulation, protection of natural habitat, sustainable land and pollution control, among others. The Environment Commissioner, while assuring the federal government of their continuous partnership, revealed that the present administration places priority on its environment in order to reclaim the lost landscape of the state, and appealed to industrialists, stakeholders, religious bodies and organizations to key into the massive tree planting campaign for more results. Performing the handover, a member of the federal government delegation, Mr. Ibunusa Osakide, said that tree planting is highly beneficial to the existence of the environment, and with the seedlings of palm trees, an ecological restoration of shorelines and erosion control will be established, as well as increase the state's forest cover, thereby contributing to climate change mitigation and adaptation measures. Mr. Osakide commended Governor Soludo for his visionary leadership, especially for the distribution of economic trees to all the 21 council areas of the state, and assured that when carefully managed, the trees will help to reduce land degradation issues facing the state.
$100,000 vulnerable households in Anambra State will benefit from the ongoing Renewed Hope Cash Transfer Program of the federal government. The head Anambra State Cash Transfer Unit, Mr. Ralph Enukora, disclosed this in Awka during an orientation for desk officers for the 21 local government areas of the state. Correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo now reports.
Enukora explained that the Renewed Hope Conditional Cash Transfer Program of the National Social Safety Net project that began more than 5 years ago, which was meant for the poor who were selected from the hinterland in each state of Nigeria before President Bola Tinubu-led administration upgraded the scheme to accommodate vulnerable households in both rural and urban areas in the country, with the aim of lifting the poor households out of poverty through payment of monthly stipends. According to the Anambra State Cash Transfer Unit head, the beneficiaries drawn from the 21 local government areas of the state will receive 25,000 naira each for 3 months. He disclosed that they have enrolled over 55,000 persons out of the total number of the beneficiaries before the program was put on hold by the federal government, disclosing that the already enrolled beneficiaries will start receiving the stipends as other beneficiaries will soon be enrolled as plans towards carrying out the exercise have been completed. On the essence of the training, he said that it is aimed at educating the desk officers on the new changes in the program for proper implementation and management of the program.
We are training our staff in the local government sector so that they will know how to manage the payment. The enrollment will continue, but presently we have more than 55,000 to benefit from the 21 local governments now.
The head of Operation Anambra State Cash Transfer Unit, Lady Florence Maka, and the Management Information System Officer 1, Anambra State Cash Transfer Unit, Mr. Arinze Melifong, reminded the beneficiaries that the program will not last forever, hence the need for them to judiciously use the money to improve their businesses and better their lives. They also commended the desk officers on their efforts aimed at ensuring success in the implementation of the program in the state.
Use the funds judiciously. They should use the funds judiciously and try and improve on whatever they are doing now so that it can provide more for them.
In Oka, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo reporting for ABS News.
The Nigeria Labour Congress has described the federal government's silence on the April 3rd electricity tariff hike as disappointing. NLC disclosed this in its communique after its National Executive Council meeting, where it suspended its indefinite strike for 1 week. The development comes after the federal government, in a meeting with organized labor on Monday, agreed to pay minimum wage higher than 60,000 naira. However, the government has yet to say anything about the second part of labor's demand, which is electricity tariff reversal, and also expressed disappointment over the government's silence and lack of concrete action regarding the reversal of the electricity tariff hike and the abolition of apartheid classification of electricity consumers in the bands. The NEC reaffirms that these issues are critical to alleviating the financial burden on Nigerian workers and the general populace, saying that electricity tariff hike and discriminatory band classification remain unacceptable and must be addressed alongside the wage increase. In faraway South Africa's African National Congress, ANC, has suggested forming a government of national unity after losing its parliamentary majority in last week's elections. It says it has reached out to all parties, but negotiations are still underway, and the results indicate that the South African wants all parties to work together. ANC spokesperson Malangi Bongi Mosiri said the ANC got about 40% of the vote, with the centre-right Democratic Alliance DA on 22%, while the MK party of former President Jacob Zuma on 15% and the Radical Economic Freedom Fighters on 9%. According to the report on the South Africa's proportional representation system, any government would need to be formed of parties which together get more than 50% of the vote. And from the world of sports, Ayimba have moved to rally support for the team in Sunday's Oriental Derby with league leaders Rangers. According to reports, Ayimba chairman Kanu Nwankwo has approved the provision of 5 coaster buses to convey the club supporters to Enugu for the game. Both teams are in contention for the Nigerian Premier League Football League title. Rangers and Ayimba currently occupy first and second position on the NPFL table respectively. Recall that Ayimba scored a 1-0 win over Rangers in the same fixture in 2021. Chukwuemeka Obioma grabbed the only goal in the game. Before we go tonight, remember that you can follow news and programs on EBS TV from many parts of the world by liking our Facebook page on Anambra Broadcasting Service. And subscribe to our YouTube channel on EBS Television, Oka. On X, formerly Twitter, we are ABS Radio TV. On Instagram, we are ABS Radio TV. You can log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. Now the main points that made the news again tonight. Mr. Soludo has reassured support to registered children's homes in Anambra. Federal government has partnered Anambra to plant over 3,000 palm tree seedlings in Nibo. NLC has described federal government's silence over electricity hike reversal as disappointing. ANC has suggested forming national unity government after election loss. To end the news, here's a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total around maintenance of the Anambra state economy and the promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that's all on the news tonight. My name is Uche Chukwu Ibanam. Thank you so much for staying with us. Good night.